Hey, it's Ben here, and in this video we're going to take a look at what you can do with shadow strings. So here's a demo I wrote using entirely songs from the library. Before we do that though, let's have a listen to the whole track. So the mood of this demo is foreboding and menacing, and it grows throughout. We'll talk about how it builds and how all the elements come in at different times and layer together, and I figured out some cool things while I was writing this. It starts with this drone. So I'm using the harsh sustains, which is a steely playing style which creates tension and suspense. Kind of fits for this. I am only using one cello because I want it to start out nice and small, close, intimate, that kind of thing. So we got some other effects and things which come in. Let's take a look at this one. So this thing here. This is from the hits. And I just went in here and just play different notes and pick a little accent sound that will add to the mood. I picked that one because it's a little bit more understated. Because yeah, like this one, that one's a little bit more dramatic. It would be kind of weird to start out with that. Yeah, you want to save a little bit for later. So which one I'm choosing makes a difference, but also you'll notice the velocity is pretty low. There's two dimensions here. There's which note you choose, but then there's also what velocity you set it to. Yeah, so it's triggering different amounts of layers. And you can see in the mapping editor, there's like all these different layers. So that comes from the reverses patch. I've set the length to 2. I could have made it longer. Which, oh, actually that would have been kind of cool. Here, if I scooch it back. Wait. 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Yeah, actually this might sound better. So the swish goes into the plucks. 3, 4. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it. Okay, so the other thing I did here is, you notice the high pass is all the way up, and again, that's because I'm trying to save some. We're right at the first measure, so we want to keep things light. If I didn't high pass it would sound like this. So let's keep going. So here are the plucks. I'm using the plucked eighths. So it has it's hushed strumming with random accents. It's a nice thing to have at the beginning of the track. You'll notice I have stretch set to 1.5 times because yeah, these are eighth notes, but you can hear that they're playing triplets. If I turn the metronome on. Yeah, maybe I should have had it just playing eighths instead of triplets. Again, so many options. What I want to show about the plucks, yeah, this was something I thought about a lot. I almost re-recorded all of these because the random accents do kind of stick out, and sometimes you're like, oh, I didn't want it to accent there. But the thing is, if you turn up the delay, then everything sort of evens out because you're having loud things layered on top of soft things and soft things layered on top of loud things. Without delay, check it out. So yeah, there's a lot of dynamics happening. But if we turn up delay, not so much dynamics. And I feel like for this track in particular, you don't want to have so many dynamics, especially at the very beginning of it, because it needs to have this kind of feeling instead of just being like, oh, I'm doing all kinds of dynamics. You know, it adds to the tension if the dynamics are staying more static. Let's just play from the beginning. I keep stopping and starting. Okay, so this bend just came in. Let's talk about that. This is the lyre, the harmonics lyre. And yeah, it has a really light, wispy sound. Kind of feels like a response. So I key switched here to the Ponticello lyre. By the way, you'll notice I have the key switches named down here, and also the note has the name of the key switch on it as well, which is really cool. And this is a Reaper thing. I made note maps for all of the different patches. So you can see up here the drone. What's this bit of automation here? This is the mod wheel, and the mod wheel is controlling. Oops. The mod wheel is controlling the sub. So yeah, so it's kind of fun to have the bass come in there. Okay, I want to talk about this bend because it has some distortion on it, and I really like just a little bit of distortion, like enough that it adds extra bite to the sound, but it doesn't destroy it. Like if we were to destroy it, it would sound like this. And now it doesn't sound like a cello anymore, even. Yeah. Yeah, these bends in particular respond really well to just distortion without the sub. I suppose you could do that. There was an effect here that I wanted to talk about. Oh, it's not this one. It's the, yeah, I call that the echoey woomph. And this is another hits thing. And yeah, this is from... Yeah, this is just another one where I just tried different notes in the hits articulation and found one that fit particularly well. Yeah. They're all sort of similar sounding, but, you know, you can hear how some of them fit better than others in this context. Okay, so everything up till now has been plucks or piano, you know, percussive things. And now finally, when the bowing comes in, I think it's a really cool moment. It's such a different texture. It's such a different texture compared to everything else that's happened so far, at least. I think it's really interesting how the bowing layers with these dry thuds from the piano. So the eighth notes, pitch-wise, they're higher than the piano, but then there's the sub-layered underneath. Yeah, let's listen to just this. Yeah, so there's a really low sub underneath. You can barely hear it, but it just adds like a little bit of heft. And then, yeah, so sandwiched between the sub and then the anxious eighth notes above it, you have this steadily pulsating, thuddy sound from the piano, which fits nicely in between. The bowing has the same issue that the plucks did, where there's so much dynamics that, like, sometimes it's a little erratic sounding. But the thing is, if you add delay or if you layer it in with other things, that amount of contrast becomes less, and so it's actually okay. Because again, like with the bowing, after recording it, I was like, should I re-record this? I mean, it's just kind of over the top. Like, do we really need to be this extreme? But I think the extremeness is actually quite useful. And you can always scale it back with more delay. And what's really cool about the delay is that if you have an accent that pops out especially loud, then that extra little color that popped out keeps echoing. Yeah, there's all these little highlights that just pop through. It's nice to be able to just hear them again and yeah, so if the shape is turned up, it really clears out a lot of space for other things to be going on. But if you turn it all the way back to 0%, this is taking up a lot of space, and you couldn't fit the piano in quite as nicely. Yeah, see, we kind of lose the piano, but once we turn shape back up again, we can hear the piano again. I'm not an expert in writing trailer music or whatever this is. I feel like this would need to build a lot more in order to be like a complete piece of music, probably. But yeah, this gets part of the way. So I hope this was interesting and informative, and hope you have a good day. See ya.